Peace. Let's do a mid-month reading for the fire signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. We're going to use the Reign of George Lenormand, and we're going to use the Species by the Thousand Oracle cards for clarification. It's going to be a 5-card reading, and we'll see. I'm trying to make these readings a little quick, but it depends upon the energy on the table. All right. So, Spirit, what messages do you have for the fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag, for the month, for the middle of June. Whenever you come across these readings, they're messages for you. There can be messages for you here. They're timeless. Oh. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. What messages do we have for the air signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Thank you. All right, so we have the mice. We have the whip. We have the masculine energy here. We have the masculine energy. I keep them both in the deck. And we have the coffin. On the bottom, we have the sun card, which, thank goodness, this is here. So this is saying that there are beautiful days ahead, all right? There's brightness ahead. But more than brightness, well, of course, we always want brightness. There's the energy of clarity, all right? The sun, for me, brings about the energy of clarity. Things no longer being in the dark. So we want to give thanks for that. All right, so this is an interesting reading here. Let's get some of the oracle cards out. And let's dive into the energies here, because these are some, we have the coffin here, so a lot of the stuff is coming to an end. So we want to, all right. One thing that I'm seeing here that's, that's just coming to me by looking at these cards is we have the masculine energy out here, but this is masculine and feminine, energetic when you're thinking about masculine energy, movement, all right? Putting those ideas out there and actually moving towards them. And so we have the two masculine cards out. This is always, for me, business. I kind of think of that. This is just a natural setting, and this is somebody at work or a work opportunity. But what I'm getting with this is you can no longer you can't necessarily be in this energy anymore. You have to be in this energy, all right? So it's time to become a leader, all right? It's time to become a leader or boss in your life here. That's just what I got for that moment. So let's see. It's a time to relax, but it's a time to get serious too. So we have to get serious. So we have growth, all right? Following our heart with the emerald here with growth. We have action, okay? So Spirit is saying we have to move forward with our ideas. We can no longer just keep them there. Simplification, all right? And then we have contentment. So simplification will lead to contentment. It seems like it won't, but it will. On the bottom, we have self-worth. So the energy of this reading with the mice here in the middle, somebody who suffered loss, sadness, but the mice to me is depleting of energy, time, finances, resources, all those things, nagging things in your mind, worries, all those things that can eat away at you with the mice card. This person here, this energy of this person is just a masculine energy. We're thinking about movement. They're ready to move on from this because we have the coffin, bringing this energy to an end, dealing with these type of situations, this type of mind game where you're being exploited. It came to mind, or you're around people that are draining your resources, whatever that might be. And resources, like I said, we think about them as tangible things, but resources don't have to be tangible. Your energy is your resource. Time is the most important resource, okay? Draining your time is something that's detrimental when people are draining your time. This is happening repetitively because we have the whip here. All right. Dealing with people who don't understand the importance of boundaries here, who don't understand that they're taking. Sometimes these people don't understand that they're taking, right? But you have to be in this energy. You have to grow and be in this energy and be bold enough to let people know that, wait a minute, things aren't going to happen this way anymore. You have to take action on your life, all right? And bring these things to a close. Bring them to a close. Maybe you're bringing the environment itself to a close. Maybe you're leaving a workplace. Maybe you're leaving a relationship. Okay. But the bottom line is you're leaving these type of things behind. You don't have to physically leave the place. You can just be honest and say, wait a minute, you're draining my resources. You're draining my time. What can we do to make this relationship work a little bit better? How can we make this situation reciprocal for both of us, where we both feel empowered and where we both feel good going about our day, going about our vision, going about our work? All right. So you don't have to physically leave all the time, but you do have to be strong enough and be a leader in your own life to say, no longer will I deal with these energies. I want to bring them to a close here. Spirit is saying that these things require your action. This here, because we have simplification beside it, it's wanting to put too much on your plate. All right, so maybe this is what you've done in the past. You've put too much on your plate. Maybe other people haven't done it. Maybe they have. Maybe you have. It doesn't make a difference. Spirit is saying that the only way to remedy the situation, to move into this energy of the sun, is to lessen the load and simplify it. That brings the peace that you need. Simplification might be leaving altogether because we have the coffin. All right. But if you're not in a position to leave a situation right now, the simplification could just be telling the person, wait a minute, you're overdoing it. Let's see how we can work this thing out. We have self-worth here. Before anybody knows who you are, before they understand your self-worth, you have to know it. You have to know it. That's the energy of this. These cards are positive, but what I'm seeing here is the energy of, maybe being too laid back. Maybe being too laid back and allowing people to, use you for what you have. Spirit is saying that what you have is powerful here because we have the sun. So you have something to offer that's major. So that's a gift and a curse at the same time because people see that bright light of the sun and they want to drain that energy. They want to use it. All right. They don't think that energy can be depleted. And so it could be a situation where you're working, you're not showing that you are, you're in this energy where you're exhausted. This is also exhaustion. They don't see it. So they want more and more and more. All right. They want more and more. And it's a gift to be able to have this energy to shine like this when you're dealing with exhaustion, but it's also hurtful to the self. So we want to make sure that we're caring for ourselves and simplifying our lives and making sure that the people that we're dealing with understand boundaries. This on the bottom says resolution. Argonite to me is a stone of grounding, right? Root chakra energy for me. Also could be solar plexus. But staying rooted and grounded in yourself when you're dealing with these people, being resolute in how you see yourself and how you see your situation, what you want for yourself, standing your ground, all right? Believing in your self-worth, self-love here with Morganite. That's ultimately going to be the balance here. Let's get 3 more. Emeralds, growth. Growth, of course. If this is career, if this is whatever this is, we're all here to grow. But with this emerald and the color of it with the heart chakra, growing in how we see ourselves, growing in self-love and self-worth, growing the heart space, all right? Concentrating on that energy. When you're dealing with exhaustion and loss all the time, when you're feeling, like somebody is abusing you, or for some of us, we're abusing ourselves, things like that. It doesn't have to be physical. It's not that. It could be just verbal abuse, verbally abusing the self. I won't ever get there. This thing won't ever work out for me. I keep trying to do this thing over and over again. It won't happen. All right. Those things. I'm not good enough. I don't have anything to offer. Those are the things that can constantly whip us around. So we want to make sure that we're avoiding that, right? Because we're moving into expansion here with the heart. We want to love ourselves. We want to simplify our lives. We live in a world where we think that the more we have, the more material things we have, the status is there. The happiness is there. And it's not true. It's not true. Because we're seeing now the ugliness that can come from status and the ugliness that can come from riches. It's always been there. All right. Not saying it can't be beauty in those things as well, but you have to be a very balanced person to handle those energies and care deeply about other people. All right. So the status of life is not found in piling more things on your plate. It's not. It's in simplifying your life and allowing spirit to come in. Let's see. We have the transformation, preparing for a transformation, believing that things can transform, forgiveness. Whatever this is, whoever this is, whatever the situation is, forgive it and bring it to a close. Forgive it and bring it to a close. All right? That's going to help to simplify your life. Not holding on to that baggage of the past. All right? Nothing more damaging and more burdensome than baggage, other people's baggage, because they lay their baggage on you. All right? Which means you're constantly thinking about things that they've done. They did it. But a lot of times people who lay baggage on others, they're fancy free. Do they have other issues in their life? Yes. Will they have other issues going forward? Yes, probably so. But people like that don't even realize that they are a part of their problem. All right. They blame others. So when you deal with people like that, they lay the baggage on you and they're able to walk away lighthearted. It's not truly lighthearted though. It adds a heavy energy on their spirit, but they don't realize that. And that's something that we can talk about later on. All right. Spiritually, it's heavy, but they don't understand the importance of the lightness of spirit, the spiritual body, the spiritual being. That's a whole thing that they wouldn't understand. But they lay those heavy burdens on other people and they're able to walk away from it, no accountability. They live their lives like that. But if you take that baggage on that they've packed up for you, they've bagged it up, they've given it to you, they've walked away, and you're still carrying it. That's not simplification, and there's no contentment in that. So forgive the situation, forgive whatever it is. It takes a stronger person to say it. I know it's cliche. And then you close this chapter out. You close it out. Freedom. That's the way. That's the way to freedom for all of us. For me, even reading these cards, that's the way to freedom for me. Closing out these chapters, forgiving people, forgiving myself. Maybe I've put the baggage on myself. Maybe I've created the bags, I've packed them, and I put them on my back. You know what I'm saying? And so all those things, we want to bring forgiveness into our lives for ourselves and for others so that we can move forward and focus on our healing, right? Quartz, purification, purifying stone. It's also a master stone with you can speak the energy into quartz. You can talk to it and you can code it with the energies. This is for people who work with crystals, but quartz can be whatever you want it to be if you talk to it. All right? It's a working stone. It's one of the most powerful working stones. People look at quartz and say, "Oh, it's just a simple stone." And that's kind of it too. The idea of simplicity, looking down on simplicity, thinking that it's not powerful. But simplicity, like I said, the quartz is the most powerful stone because it can be programmed to do whatever you need to do. It can work in whatever way you need it to work at. All right. And so we want to think about those things, simplifying our lives, seeing the beauty in simplification. Okay. Focusing on ourselves, putting things into action, growth in the heart chakra, being confident in our abilities because we have the sun out here, knowing that we have something powerful to offer. If you did not have something powerful to offer, you wouldn't be in these energies, all right? You wouldn't be drained. And compatibility, moving into compatible relationships and environments, all right? So we'll be back again for July for a full month reading, and then we'll do another mid. All right, take care. Peace.